There's a silent trap that catches almost everyone who wants to build something meaningful, and usually hides behind a word that sounds responsible, and that is preparation. We tell ourselves we aren't starting yet because we're preparing. We're waiting for the right moment. We're waiting until we have more experience, more money, more confidence, or a clearer master plan. We convince ourselves that if we just wait a little bit longer, the path ahead will suddenly lighten up. Every obstacle will disappear, and we'll finally feel ready to move. But here is the uncomfortable truth. The perfect time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. It has never existed for anyone who wanted to accomplish anything worth doing. If you wait until you feel 100% ready, you will spend your entire life in the waiting room. We like to think that clarity leads to action, that first you figure everything out and then you take the step forward. But real life works in the exact opposite direction. Action creates clarity. You cannot steer a parked car. You don't get to see the full road ahead until you start driving through the fog. Think about how much energy gets wasted in the planning phase of life. How many brilliant ideas have died entirely in someone's head because they've overanalyzed every possible variable until they talk themselves out of starting. How many people spend years researching a craft, buying the gear, reading the books, and outlining the strategy, but never actually put their work into the world? Planning feels safe because it gives you the sensation of progress without any of the vulnerability. When you're just planning, you can't fail. Nobody can criticize an unreleased idea. Nobody can reject a project that stays hidden in your notebook. But hiding behind preparation comes with a massive hidden cost. It trades real-world experience for comfort. This trap is especially dangerous when you're in your 20s. Your 20s are supposed to be used as an era of iteration. This is the time to build things, break things, and rebuild. When you're in this decade, your greatest advantage isn't that you have all the answers. It's that you have the speed and flexibility to figure them out on the fly. If you spend your 20s waiting for conditions to be ideal, you are missing the entire point of the decade. The ideal conditions will never arrive. There will always be a reason to hold off. There will always be financial uncertainty, personal distractions, or people who doubt what you're doing. Life does not pause to give you a clean runway. If you want to build momentum, you have to learn how to launch in the middle of the mess. Look at anyone you admire, any creator, entrepreneur, athlete, or leader who has built something remarkable. If you trace their journey back to the very beginning, you won't find a polished masterstroke. You'll find a rough, imperfect, almost embarrassing first draft. Their early work wasn't great because it was perfect. It was great because it existed. They had the courage to put out something average so they could gain the feedback required to make it good, and eventually make it exceptional. Volume and iteration beats perfection every single time. When you keep your dreams tucked away until the right moment, you treat your ambition like something fragile. You act as if a single mistake or a bad start will ruin the vision. But true ambition isn't fragile. It's built to withstand the bumps, the learning curves, and the inevitable adjustments along the way. Stop treating your goals like a secret you're keeping from the world. Stop waiting for an invitation that is never going to show up in the mail. You have one life, and the clock doesn't pause while you try to build up the nerve to step onto the field. Every day you spend waiting for the perfect conditions is a day you voluntarily surrender to average. The people who win aren't the ones who had the best plan on day one. They are the ones who took an imperfect plan, executed it immediately, survived the messy middle, and stayed in the game long enough to refine it. If there's a project you've been putting off, a career pivot you've been hesitating to make, or a creative pursuit you've been hiding from people, let this be the moment you stop preparing and start doing. You don't need a flawless roadmap. You just need enough courage to take the very next step. Start before you're ready. Build in public. Learn as you go. Because the real risk in life isn't starting too early and making a mistake. It's waiting too long, realizing you spent your best years standing on the sidelines.